Well, here we go. This is going to be your introduction to AutoCAD and its basic commands. Just enough knowledge to get you through the first two assignments, Osnap1 and Osnap2. So here I am in Canvas, and I'm looking at my home page for CAD/CAM 1. I'm going to click Modules so that I can open up Osnap1, which is your first assignment to do in AutoCAD. Some of you may have a dual monitor setup where you can have two different screens open at the same time, and that will come in handy. If not, I'm going to go through the process of how to get this picture of your assignment into AutoCAD. And that's going to be as simple as opening it, right-click Copy, and here in AutoCAD, I'm going to right-click, Clipboard, Paste. It's asking for an insertion point. I click because it doesn't matter where it goes. And now it wants to know the scale factor. And again, size doesn't matter. Rotation, I would not put it upside down. I'm going to put it just like we saw it in that viewer. Kind of getting ahead of myself. If you haven't opened up AutoCAD yet, that's going to be in your Programs button. It's going to be recently added because you just downloaded it. If not there, pull down for AutoCAD 2021, and this is the icon that you'll be clicking. And you will open up a screen that looks like this, and that's blank. I had my picture pasted in there. I deleted it, and I want it back, so I am hitting Control-Z on my keyboard. Like most software programs, Control-Z keyboard shortcut to undo. So here we are. In order to make this movement happen, I am pushing down on my mouse roller in order to pan. Rolling my roller on my mouse in and out allows me to zoom in and out. And another cool feature is if I am zoomed way out, don't know where my work is that I've started, if I double tap the roller itself, it's going to show me everything in my drawing as big as it possibly can. So I'm going to, before I actually start in on this object, which again, size doesn't matter, I'm going to show you just the basics of how to select things and delete things quickly, and some right-click efficiency features of AutoCAD. So I want to draw a line. I click a point, and you can see I can continue on for a very long time. And if I want to end this line and terminate it here, I have a couple different options, but two of the fastest options are hitting Enter on your keyboard. All right, now I'm done. Another option is to right-click, Enter. I am a big proponent of right-clicking because it saves a lot of time. So I'll talk more about some right-click features here coming up shortly. So let's say that I want to continue on with this line, but I need that perfect intersection to connect with that line segment right there. So up to my line command, I get that beautiful green box showing me that it is a perfect intersection. Click and continue on, Enter. Life is good. That's going to be a perfect intersection that is touching. That's the big, huge point that I'm trying to make with these first two assignments is OSnap. So, OSnap is short for Object Snap, which is right here. If I turn it off and click a line, it's not going to give me any snaps to intersections, endpoints, midpoints, or any options. And you can try to zoom in and get really close, but you're not going to get it. So turning it back on, I'm selecting my line, clicking on one of those blue grips which allow you to modify it, and now you saw my ultra handy green box show up. To control your OSnap options, there's a pull down menu right next to it. For example's sake, I'll select Midpoint and turn Midpoint on. Grab that same line, and I'm pretending like I need it to be in the middle of this line. So let's make things a little bit bigger. just by clicking and dragging so it's more clear. So this is the end that I'm trying to snap to the middle of this long line. And there's my green triangle showing you midpoint. So that's the start for Osnap. To get in there and get familiar with these different options is going to be a must for the first 2 assignments. So a couple more things, just how you select things. You can hover and click. If you hit escape, you deselect. Hover and click again. Right click, deselect. 2 ways to do the same thing. I am in the habit of right clicking. So another feature here is dragging, right? I'm clicking, letting go, and dragging from right to left. If you touch it, you get it. Okay, escape. If you click and drag from left to right, I'm touching quite a bit here, but I don't have anything selected. You have to totally encompass it in order to get it. So for what you're looking at on your screen, it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense until you have something like this going on. I have a line overlapping another line, and yes, I understand I can get in there, hover it, click it, and I get it, but that's really fast and efficient. So there's some selection basics for you to make life a little bit easier and make sense of it. There's another feature where you click and hold, right? And you have that going on for some early on simple projects and drawings that I have you doing. I don't use that feature, but some students find it helpful. Like a lot of things in AutoCAD and any software in general, the more you play around with it, the better off we're gonna be as far as figuring out what is best for you. You won't see me clicking a lot of these options. I am a typer, and I will explain what I mean with this command right here, trim. So let's take this line and slice it through. Escape, so I have nothing selected, and we're going to say that I want to get rid of this line segment from this line and that line being my borders. I want to get rid of it. I'm in the habit, and you don't have to be, but I'm in the habit of typing on my keyboard TR trim, so that I can trim different things out, whatever it may be that I want to get rid of. And as of a couple years ago, AutoCAD gives you that nice preview of what it is that's going to be erased if you do decide to click. So trim, very, very handy. Sometimes instead of trimming, it's easier to just grab a grip and move and modify it that way. Kind of depends on the application. So I'm going to delete this, right click, erase, and we are going to get into the actual assignment, which is a series of 4 circles and then a 5th circle that's quite a bit bigger. So don't worry about what all these features mean yet. We will get there. For now, we're just going to click circle and create 4 circles, and I'm going to explain as I go what I'm doing. I just created the first one. The obvious would be to create another one, was to go up here, click circle, making sure you see that green circle designating, snapping you to the midpoint, the center point of that circle. That is one way. Right click. That is the last command that you have done. And below that is everything that I have done. So I'm going to use that right click, repeat circle, snap to the center. And the third thing you can do is, right now I just drew a circle and I want to draw another one. I can hit enter, and it's gonna get you into that same command that you just did, the last command. So there's 4 circles, and here's the 5th one. Notice now how I don't get a green circle snapping me to the center. If you hover the perimeter of any of these circles and then go to the center, you will get it. That one is a little bit larger, and I'm just trying to make it look pretty close to what I'm seeing over here from the assignment. So next, we're going to draw this horizontal line that actually goes all the way through, and then we'll trim this out. And then we will do vertical line and some smaller circles. So the vertical line snaps to the quadrant of that big circle, quadrant and quadrant, therefore intersecting the center point. So let's see how that works out over here. That is the Osnap symbol for quadrant. So I can click that, drag straight down, click it again, right click, enter, and I'm going to do the same horizontally. Right click, enter to get out of that command. And now I need to get rid of that segment from here to here. So you can do this, you can go right click, what's everything that I've done, I trimmed, enter. Okay, I'm going to draw in these little circles right here at that intersection point. Again, quadrant we used, and now I'm going to be using intersection to actually snap into the end point of that line because it's two of the same intersections. And we are cruising. This next line right here, if you look closely, you can see it's pretty clear here where it is intersecting 3 points, this line, and that line, all the endpoints. But up here, it's not snapped to the quadrant or the end of this vertical line. So what I'm going to do is I need to snap to what is called the tangent. So with Osnap tangent on, drawing a line from there, I need that symbol, the tangent, right? With tangent off, tangent is now off, and I'm going to do the same thing. So I deleted that line, and I want to show you a different method. I know tangent's off in my Osnap settings, and I know I don't want to be there. I want to be here. So what you can do is override Osnap commands. So how you get to that point is holding down Control or Shift, one or the other. So I'm going to hold down Control, right click. These are the same Osnap settings that are pulled up from this pull down menu by Osnap. I'm going to click tangent, and you'll see that is the only thing you get. You don't get a center point, an end point, an intersection. It is simply tangent and tangent only. So even though I am way far away from where I want to be there, as long as I have that green icon for tangent, I can click and it is going to take me to that green snap. So that's a big deal. The one-time override for Osnap, hold down Control or Shift, right click, and then you will see these show up, and it is a one-time use only. Tangent will not be turned on here permanently. Okay, we're going to continue on, and I'm going to show you one more time saver that's going to help you. So let's look at these two boxes with a triangle on the top. They look pretty similar to me. I think they are the same. They are mirrored. So back to my object. I'm going to draw a line at an angle. I'm going to come back straight. Notice that green line that is pulling me to straight. That is what polar tracking is all about. So I'm leaving polar tracking on, and it is on by default. So if that's where the center of the circle is coming down, I'm going to pull back here slightly and fill that in. So I have the start of that little triangle right there. Next, the fastest way to do this would be to use the rectangle command and draw a box from here to there. But now we have overlapping lines. I have a line segment there from when I drew the triangle, and I have a complete rectangle or a square here that is identified as one object. So I don't want two overlapping lines. I would get in there and delete that by hitting the delete button on my keyboard. Now the time saver is to grab all. Up here is the icon. I am a typer, so I would type MIR. Just start typing any command that you want, and it'll fill it in.